So in the previous video we have started with the continuous beam, and in continuous beam we have seen the definition, that is a beam which is supported on more than two supports is called as a continuous beam. So this is an example of 2-span and 3-span continuous beam. Now let's say there is some loading which is present on the beam. So there is some loading which is present on the beam. So due to this loading, what will happen? The beam will undergo some deflection. The beam will undergo certain deflection. So the deflected shape I am drawing it with the dotted lines. So this is called as, or this is the deflected shape of the beam. Similarly, this will also undergo deflection. So this kind of deflection will only undertake when the loadings are vertically downward loading. So you can see now the loading is vertically downward. Now if you just look at it properly, then this shape here is similar to the sagging shape. Okay. Similarly, the shape here, this is similar to hogging shape. That means we can say that at the mid spans, so this is called as a mid span, that is the center of the span. At the mid span, what type of movements are present? Sagging movements are present. Now this support B here, this has a special name here in continuous beam, and this is called as an intermediate support. Intermediate support. Okay. So this support B here, it is called as an intermediate support. Similarly, in the 3-span continuous beam, if you just look it properly, A, B, C and D, so there are total 2 intermediate supports. Support B is an intermediate support and support C is also an intermediate support. Now what is the type of movement, or what is the type of bending moment which is present at intermediate support? There is an hogging bending moment which is present. Just by looking at the deflected shape only, you can say that at the midspan you can see this movement is having the curvature of sagging, and at the intermediate support it has the curvature of hogging. Okay. Similarly, here also you can say that at the midspans the movement is hogging, and we generally take the this is sagging, and we generally take the sagging movement as positive. So this is sagging and we take sagging as positive, and at intermediate support there is hogging. That means negative movements are present at the intermediate supports. So this is nothing but the nature of movements in continuous beam. So we'll write down one statement about what we have understood here, that for downward loadings, hogging movements are generated at where hogging movements are generated? At intermediate support. At intermediate supports. And sagging movements are generated at midspans. Midspans means nothing but the center point of any span. Okay, so span AB is there, so the middle part of the span is called as midspan. So we have seen that now hogging movements are generated at intermediate supports and sagging movements are generated at the midspan. Now to understand this hogging and sagging movements, this is a very basic concept, but still I will just quickly say it to you. See, sagging movements we are considering it as positive movements, okay, and hogging we are taking negative. So to remember this, sagging you remember it as a smiling curve, okay, and hogging is a sad curve. So if you just draw it like this, so this will become the sagging. Okay, so as you can see, this is smiling, so that means this is positive. So sagging we are taking positive, and opposite to this is hogging. So as sagging is positive, from the expression you can say that it is sad, so it is negative. So the most important thing to us here is this curve. So this represents the sagging and this represents the hogging.